Hi, I'm Tony. I'm really into transcending. Are you? Let me explain what I mean by transcending. A little bit of background. See, my whole life has been about moving past the normal and the average. So that's what I mean by transcending. It started for me almost 50 years ago. I was growing up in a family, 2 younger brothers, well-meaning parents, Roman Catholic upbringing, and I was very unhappy, very angry with the world. It just wasn't working out the way I wanted to be and do. So by the time I was a teenager, that anger had to show itself out as a sports injury. Ended up having to go to hospital later on, and after surgery went into shock and had a near-death experience. That was the beginning. I didn't realise at the time that afterwards I'd have to go through a whole lot more, that beginning process was, wow. I mean, it was incredible. I went to this place where I met this loving, wise being. He seemed so timeless. And his love and his care for me was so wonderful. I just didn't want to leave. But I knew I had to come back, and that I was on a journey. And really I was in the childhood part of that journey. So I spent the next 5 years looking to try and get my hands on anything that made sense about what had happened, and how could I get back to that incredible feeling inside. I was drawn towards healing, so after I left school, tried to go into medicine, tried nursing to see if I could learn more about healing and repairing. But really I was so depleted and so empty inside because I wanted to go back and get refilled. And therefore the journey from there on was about finding that again. Going into places where I could feel I was topping up instead of just emptying out again. Tried lots of different things along the way, as I'm sure we all do when we're on a kind of a soul journey. Do you feel that too, that you're on a journey, and lots of times it's quite difficult, it's quite lonely, it's quite isolating? Do you sometimes feel like, how do you find this thing that you may have touched on at some stage in your life? Well, that's where I was at. So I tried a lot of the usual things. I tried drugs for a while, not really heavy drugs, just cigarettes, alcohol, marijuana, stuff like that, mushrooms. It didn't do it for me. It gave me a temporary good feel, but I had to come back to me again, and it didn't last. Sex was a great thing too. That was fun, but I didn't know how to use that energy properly, so again came back feeling depleted and empty. So I continued on the healing journey. I left the medical system, got into natural healing, and then really started to learn more about traditional medicines and the cultivation of this life force, this thing called chi or prana. It was amazing to be able to have moments again where I touched that oneness, that incredible union that I'd had with this loving, wise presence that was within me. And I began to discover that actually we've all got it. We've all got this incredibly wise, loving energy inside us. It's part of the oneness, and we're all there, we're all in it. It's just that when we come back to the outer world and the external senses, which we forget. It's so limiting being here. And when you touch the divine, you touch that ecstatic state. Oh boy, all you want to do is go back to it. So I was kind of addicted in a way. I had to get there. I was on this incredible search. And that search has gone on for now, well, 45 years. And I've learned a lot of wonderful things about traditional medicines, herbs, healing, fasting, cleansing, detoxing, meditation, sound therapy, numerology, astrology. Touched on all of those things, and I'd love to share that with you if you're into that. If you want to get in touch and find your way, I'd love to show you some of the things that I've learned so that maybe that can help you in your journey of finding yourself. So in the next video, I'll go more into detail about what I want to share with you and break it down so that if you're into it, that's great. Then we're all learning together, we're all growing together, we're all sharing the love.